Managing stress and mastering time management are two of the biggest challenges students face during college, but they're also some of the most valuable skills you take with you after graduation. Today, I'm talking with ASU alum Kaddie Steffens, who shares how her experiences at the Cronkite School helped her shape her career and personal growth. So, I am here with Kaddie Steffens. What year did you graduate? ASU.
I graduated from the Cronkite School in 2017. So I was there from 2013 to 2017.
What was your main focus? Was it PR or broadcasting?
My focus was print. I had wanted to be like a newspaper writer, and then I realized that like newspapers were kind of like slowly going out of style. Um, so I focused more on the print magazine side. I did take a media law class, which I was really interested in. It was hard, but I was really interested in it. So my track was more focused on writing because I've always loved to write. But I did take a broadcasting class, and of course, I did Cronkite News my senior year, which was like kind of everything all together.
What's one piece of advice you'd give your college self?
That is a good question. I would probably tell her that it will all work out. I remember being very stressed, just very anxious about things, not really understanding how my degree would translate, not really understanding how I would be able to make a living off of what I love to do. It will all work out. So just keep doing your best. Stop stressing about everything. What else? I would probably also tell her to maybe not be so introverted. Like I said, ASU is a really big school and there are a lot of graduates here. And I have run into a lot of people who were like, oh, I was at ASU at the same time you were. And for someone who does communications as a living, I sometimes get very like anxious about talking to people. Like sometimes I'd rather just like sit in my desk and do my work and not have to speak to anyone. But ASU is a huge network. And I wish that I had understood that a little bit better when I was in school. And I think maybe I would have used that like to my advantage a little bit better.
I understand that. Definitely coming here, I had to put myself out there and just be like, hello, my name is
Yeah,
and my major is this, and just meet different people, which was way out of my comfort zone. But it was also when people would be confused on why I wanted to be in journalism and stuff like that. They're like, "You're really quiet. I'm surprised." And I'm like, "I'm
I
shocked too.
know.
I want to be in this very extroverted field, but
I'm the same way. I say that like my social meter has run out and like sometimes I just
yeah,
get so tired of interacting with
me
people.
too."
I'm like, okay, I have to go home and recharge so I'm like
Yeah.
ready and like sharp and prepared to do this again. But it's a lot and there are so many people at ASU and it's such a big school, but it really is like its own network because there's literally hundreds of thousands of people there that I would tell myself like maybe just be like a little bit more extroverted and like because you
Yeah.
never know who you're gonna meet and then run into down the line that could be beneficial. So yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
would tell myself.
How did you navigate challenges like stress, burnout, time management?
Yeah. So when I did Cronkite News, I actually really struggled because I knew I didn't want to work in the news. I knew I was probably going to graduate and go like more the corporate communications route. Yeah, that was a struggle. Now that I think back on it, I was so afraid and so nervous to go talk to people about things. I just took it one project at a time. I had to do it for a full semester, and it was easier for me to think about this one project instead of the five or six or seven or eight that I have to do for the semester. And once I got one under my belt, it honestly wasn't that bad, but I was very overwhelmed like going into it and thinking, oh my gosh, I have to do these eight things or I have to go to these eight places. It was very overwhelming. So I quite literally took it one at a time.
Is there anything that you learned in college that you still carried on after college was over?
Yes, I'm sure there are a lot. Thing I've learned, and it's kind of like the advice that I tell myself, is that everyone is like a possible connection or everyone is like a possible network. So even on a day you're not feeling it or you're having a bad day, like do your best to kind of push through it because chances are like it seems like the world is so big, but chances are you'll run into people again. So just remember that, like when you're interacting with people, even on bad days. I mean, all of my writing skill, I think I definitely have carried with me. I think my interpersonal skills, just from working with sources and like working with people on camera, we have to help other people feel comfortable behind camera, even if we're not comfortable being in the social situation. We then have to like prepare other people for it. So I definitely have taken that skill with me. Yeah.
What do you think is the biggest difference between college students now versus when you were in school?
I think this is the pretty obvious answer, but you guys are in such a world of social media and like digital marketing, digital advertising, digital communications. It was starting when I was in school. We obviously had like all the apps and stuff, but I don't think it had taken off the way that it has taken off right now. And I think it's a good thing. And I think it has its downsides. I think with all the social media, it's really important for news outlets to like keep their integrity and keep like their reporting non-biased. I think there are a lot of biased reporting nowadays from large news stations all the way down to like individuals on social media. And I think it's really easy to be swayed by that when we're ingesting all these opinions all the time. So I think that is the biggest difference. I think you guys are facing quite a challenge with how interwoven social media is in our lives.
Thank you so much for the interview. It was
You're
nice
so welcome.
to meet you. A huge thank you to Kaddie Steffens for taking the time to share her journey and insights. Her story is a reminder that the challenges and growth we experience in college often lay the foundation for success beyond graduation. Thanks for listening. I'm Simone Woodley.